Hello, hello. Good afternoon and welcome to Newfield High School in Selden, New York. It's the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. Brady Campbell with you as the Middle Country Mad Dogs host the Walt Whitman Wildcats as we're set to go here at the Face-Off X. And we're underway, and the opening draw controlled by the Mad Dogs in the white. And they'll start things off moving into the attacking end here. Both teams 2-4 on the season, looking to get a bit closer to 500 as the Mad Dogs will settle things down here. It's Brian Goldhammer with the rock, now dishes it off. Max Kirschner leaves it behind. He'll head towards the cage, and now Jack Cavallari, the Stony Brook commit, taking his time here, getting his offense set up. Walt Whitman in the road red uniforms today. Down low it goes. Return feed back up top. Draws the double, drops it off to the corner. Taking it towards the cage, shot, score! And the opening goal belongs to Middle Country. And that is Jack Cavallari. What a power move there by Cavallari. Draws the double, doesn't matter. And the future Seawolf goes top shelf to get the Mad Dogs off to the 1-0 lead. Back to the face-off X we go. It'll be Mike McGinnis of the Wildcats against Noah Preciado here to do the honors. Middle Country 1-2 in Conference A play so far, as off the draw, bouncing around a bit. Mad Dogs back on it. And Cavallari once again will settle things down as his team makes a couple substitutions off the face-off win. Cavallari sticking his right hand, goes to his left, and the save made. First save of the game for Patrick McManus, getting the start today. McManus tested early twice by Cavallari, 1 for 2. And Keith Hill slow things down here for the Walt Whitman offense. Just 2 minutes gone by in the first quarter of play for the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. Hill once again. Draws the defense out high, now takes it low, lost the handle, and the ball checked out of his stick there, and the Mad Dogs back on it. They'll reset from their own end and look for a clear. Pass up to midfield, and back the other way comes Middle Country. Here's Stebbins. Stebbins forced back. Goes across within, now dropped off Cavallari again. Inside the box, now forced back to the outside. Puts a stick in his left. Cavallari, penalty upcoming here as he wires that one wide. Backed up by the Mad Dogs, and will get the call. To the man up goes Middle Country for the first time today. .8:58 to go, first quarter, 1 minute man up. For Middle Country, looks to be a cross-checking call against Dylan Nagar. And Cavallari will start with it at the top of the box. Nagar, the long stick midi 2025 graduate this year, committed to Oneonta. One of the leaders of this Wildcat team. A little bit of a delay here, but we're back underway. Move behind to X. Back up top they go. Stebbins, Cavallari. Fakes, goes back across. Now down low, Kirschner. And we get a timeout call here for Middle Country. It's like the coaching staff didn't quite like what they saw there on the passing. The first time out of the game. 8:40 to go here in the first quarter. It is a 1-0 lead for Middle Country on the goal from Jack Cavallari. Just 18 seconds gone by on the man up. Walt Whitman trying not to fall behind here too far in the early going. They started off 0-2 on the season, rattled off 2 quick wins, including a 16-1 victory over Brentwood, dropped the last 2. And looking to redeem themselves today after being shut out by Ward Melville last time out. On the other side, Middle Country, we mentioned they're also 2-4 overall. Dropped their last matchup 17-7 against Bellport. Long time out here as the coaching staff of Walt Whitman still talking things over on the man down. Middle Country setting up their man-up play here as they took the timeout to reset. Brady Campbell with you here from Newfield High School. Rowan Loddick operating the board for us today, and the one and only Rin Shimano doing the camera work. So now out of the timeout, once again, it'll be Middle Country's ball here with 42 seconds left on the man up. Anthony Baldante will start with it here on the near side, back in play. Cavallari goes down to X. They return it to him. Baldante goes across to Stebbins. Fake down low, a pass, errant pass. Bounced a bit in front of its intended target there and goes out of bounds. A turnover. Dom Otis behind the net couldn't quite handle it. So the Wildcats take back possession. Here's McManus from his crease. Will start ahead with it. Sees some room to run. Gets it over midfield. McManus, a spin move around 1. And he'll force his side to call a timeout as well. What an effort that was by number 1 in maroon. Looked like he had his sights set on the cage perhaps there if his coach didn't call the timeout. 8:15 to go here in the first quarter. Still a 1-0 lead for Middle Country. And an opportunity to extend it. But a bit of a turnover there in the offensive end. And now an opportunity here for the Wildcats to come back the other way. Fresh out of this timeout. McManus and Oswego commit. Graduating this year, 2025. Always have to keep an eye out for him as he's, as we saw there, more than willing to come out of the cage with the rock. Now out of the timeout, Walt Whitman ball here on the near side, about the 43-yard line of the football field. And it will be taken by Ryan Perillo to start things off. Back in play, Perillo just darts down to the top of the box, now forced back out. Being And watch, they're up high. They had to move it quickly. Wildcats trying to set up a play here, but they're forced back to the outside. Ryan Kaiser on it. Kaiser takes it behind to X, being checked the whole way. Resets, puts it in his left. Kaiser drops it up top, pass a bit on the wrong side of his teammate. Ground ball picked up here by Middle Country. They come back the other way, looking for numbers. Quick pass off, down low, a shot, score! Beautiful passing play from the Mad Dogs. They take the 2-0 lead. Dom Otis on the finish. Little tic-tac-toe down to Otis. Quick jump shot, and the righty makes no mistake. Hot start here for the Mad Dogs. McGinnis and Preciado back at the face-off X here. And McGinnis kicks it free, still loose on the ground, picked up though by the Mad Dogs. Swooping in to take it was Grippy. His pass got knocked down though, and it's brought right back ahead by the Wildcats. Another errant pass, ball loose on the deck. Still rolling around. All the way back towards the crease there. A little bit dangerously for Middle Country. Now, however, taken back and started ahead by the Mad Dogs. Here's Grippy over midfield. Grippy draws the double. It's like the stick knocked out of the hands of one of the defenders there. And picking it back up, that is Ryan Perillo. The midi will head off. As the Mad Dogs settle things down, make a couple substitutions of their own. Here's Stebbins back on the field. Stebbins, a bull dodge, tried to feed it right in front of the crease. Didn't make it through. Goes all the way to the corner. It ends up out of bounds, and possession will go back to Walt Whitman. McManus off the restart. Fires it across for Nagar. His pass knocked down, will roll out of bounds and stay with Dylan Nagar and Whitman. Goes back to McManus. He'll feed it across for Chase Gottsman. Right in front of the Middle Country bench. Able to stay in bounds, forced back now. Looking for a pass. Goes down the sideline with it. He'll roll all the way out of bounds, though. A turnover here for Whitman. Unable to handle that pass cleanly was Tyler Goldfarb. Relatively sloppy start here for both sides. Middle Country will take it, though. They have the 2-0 lead. And we'll look to extend that here. Here's Cavallari again. Steps in and scores. Just a power move there from Cavallari. Goes on the near side here. Watch him just drive in there. Goes non-stick side. McManus unable to get to it. And a quick 3-0 start here for Middle Country with 5:22 left here in the first quarter. So pretty close to the start that the Mad Dogs wanted here. And Whitman having to play catch up in the early going. The ensuing face-off controlled as well here by Middle Country. Preciado goes across for Cavallari. He'll slow things down. Cavallari now driving in. Cavallari back to his left, and he finishes. It's a hat trick here in the first quarter for number 10 in white. Just driving in there on his right. And you don't want to let him get back to his left. They do. He's able to stuff it. And another timeout call here as Whitman falling behind quickly here in the first quarter. Once again, you're watching the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. In partner with LI Sports Network here on the LILJ YouTube channel. Brady Campbell with you from Newfield High School in Selden, home of the Suffolk County Conference A battle between the Wildcats of Walt Whitman and the Middle Country Mad Dogs. Mad Dogs off to a hot start. Jack Cavallari, the future Stony Brook Seawolf senior, on fire to start this one. That's a hat trick, 3 of the 4 goals so far. Dom Otis had the other for Middle Country. Long time out here for the Wildcats. Head coach Robin Nagar, very vocal there on his sideline as his team has fallen behind here in the first 7 minutes of quarter number 1. Set to go now as his Wildcats take the field again after the goal. And we'll see if Mike McGinnis can get a key face-off win here. McGinnis has had a decent start here at the face-off X2 start, however. The wingers on the faceoff for Middle Country have come in and stolen a couple ground balls away. Preciado wins this one pretty cleanly. Starts ahead with it. Had it taken out of his stick. Now a scramble ensues. Otis comes in to take it. Right on the sideline, checked out of bounds. And that'll force possession back to Whitman. Will be Kaiser back on it. Goes for McManus. He dropped the ball. Look out here. McManus has to get back on it. Otis right on him. Otis nearly took it away. Would have had an empty net to look at. McManus stays with it, however. Now starts upfield with it. His double teamed. Otis takes it away. He stumbles down. Throws it back towards midfield. Ball still on the deck. Taken by Whitman now. Nagar finds some room and works it over midfield. What a chaotic sequence. Whitman comes away with possession. Nagar, though, an errant pass. This will come over to the sideline and out of bounds. Another turnover here against the Wildcats. So possession back to Middle Country. A triple team here, forced out of bounds is Goldhammer. And so the possession goes right back the other way. Aggressive defense there at midfield by Walt Whitman, trying to do anything they can to get the momentum turned around. Here's Perillo. Substitution here for Whitman. Stepping on is Jaden Flores. He'll head towards the goal. Kaiser stumbles down, flips it towards the net, goes wide. And I believe backed up by Whitman. Indeed, it will stay Wildcat ball. Both teams make some substitutions here as we're back in play. Keith Hill will go up top to Perillo. Perillo playing catch. Now goes down for Hill. Down low, here's Lucas Tana. Shot blocked, Tana back on it. Sends it across to the wing, a shot misses wide. Back up once again by Whitman. It was Ryan Johnstone who missed it. Or rather McGinnis, excuse me. Now Tana goes down low. McGinnis keeps it moving. Skip pass across, the shot goes wide. Back up once again, possession to Whitman. Taking it behind the net is Kaiser. Here's Tana. Pass across, one more down low. Skip pass, a shot and a stick save. And possession back to Middle Country. Back the other way they come. Preciado trying to find a path into the box. Will dump it off and head off. And Stebbins now. Will drop it off. A 4-0 lead for Middle Country. 100 seconds and counting in quarter number 1. In no particular rush here. They have 30 left on the shot clock. Around the net, now goes up top. Stebbins tries to get back to his right. Had some trouble doing so. Gets his stick free and then checked. Right as he tried to let it go, Will Bozick got a piece of it. Once again, though, the Mad Dogs end up with the GB. 1:10 to go. Cavallari looking for a lane, goes up top. Stebbins, room, and just missed wide. McManus may have gotten the piece and may have caught the post even. Looked like it deflected at some point there as it got to him. Either way, it stays out. 55.8 left. Middle Country trying to hold for what they hope is the final possession of the quarter and would love to come away with a goal. Here's Otis. Cuts back. Otis scores! Nice roll dodge down low. He's able to drive to the front and bury his second of the game. Kept the stick in his right hand the whole time. Goes high stick side there. McManus unable to get the stop. 5-0. Mad Dogs in the final minute of the opening frame. Crucial face-off here. Whitman desperately trying to get back into the game. McGinnis trying to win this face-off and steal a goal. Preciado won it there for a moment, couldn't get the ground ball. It's up in the air. Lands in front of the box, and it's scooped up by Joe Ferrugia. Errant pass, though, misses the stick of Cavallari. Out of bounds, 20.5 left. Nagar will start with it. Rolls it back to McManus. Feeds it over the midfield. And now back in comes Whitman. That's Finn Bradley. Drops it off. Ball hits the deck, though. Comes all the way back to the Whitman end, and that is how this first quarter will come to an end. All Mad Dogs. 3 from Cavallari, 2 from Otis, and a 5-0 lead after the first 12 minutes of play between both of these 2 and 4 Suffolk County Conference A teams trying to get a step closer to 500. We'll see if Whitman can try to mount a comeback here starting in the second quarter. All Mad Dogs so far. Will be back for the second quarter here momentarily for the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. And welcome back to the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week here on the LILJ YouTube in collaboration with LI Sports Network. Brady Campbell with you from Newfield High School, home of the Middle Country Mad Dogs, who are off to a good start as we start the second quarter. 5-0. They are leading the Walt Whitman Wildcats. They win the faceoff as well. Well, the pass misfires, and back the other way come the Cats. Lucas Tana goes up for Finn Bradley. Whitman looking for a much-needed icebreaker on their side. Could get it here. Bounce shot and a save. A huge stop for Middle Country, and they come back the other way with some speed. Pass down low. That would have been one for the highlight reel. Dom Otis, nearly the hat-trick goal, just feathered it wide. It will stay with Otis here. Otis driving, goes up top. Stebbins trying to get his hands free. Will, and a big save for McManus. Keeps this game right where it's at. And a quick clear, trying to spring some offense. Back the other way comes Whitman, turning with it, Derek Davis. Davis forced out of bounds, however, and possession right back to Middle Country. Trying to work through that double team to start was Stebbins, could not. Great wrap check, wins possession back for Whitman out of bounds. What a play that was by Flores. Now he has possession. Whitman in no particular hurry here. Still 10 minutes left in quarter number 2. And what a check that was behind the play. Ball still loose. And Middle Country nearly came away with it, but it trickles out of bounds. Christian Soltan couldn't keep the ball in his cross, so it will stay with Whitman. $10 left to shoot. Behind the goal, Tana. Tana, pass out towards the front. The shot never made it through. Picked up right as the shot clock were to expire by Middle Country, and they'll come back the other way with some speed. A chance here, and another stop fought off by McManus. Trying to take that one the distance was A.J. Sullivan. And the play was blown back in there, and the near turnover on some miscommunication from the Mad Dogs. But they stay with it here, and James Gessinger will bring it back behind the net. Now Stebbins puts it in his left, looks to attack from X. Stebbins. Skip pass up top, deflected back towards midfield. It's a foot race here. Couple players lock up, it's still loose. And a yard sale, look out there. Stick comes flying out of the hands of Hill, back the other way. Comes Middle Country. Another check, and it rolls in on goal. Where it's scooped up by McManus. Goes for an arcing clearing attempt that gets picked off. Right back the other way, a shot. Did it go? It did. What a sequence that was, and how about another for Jack Cavallari? The takeaway, McManus put a bit too much arc on that clearing attempt. Allowed enough time for Cavallari to get under and take it away, and puts that shot just inside the pipe. The referee's checking on. Official still checking it out. As of right now, a 6-0 lead for the Mad Dogs. 4 for Cavallari, 2 for Otis. It does look like a bit of a netting issue there in the top right corner. So they'll fix that. While they do, we'll step aside for a quick break here for the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. And welcome back to the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. So they got the netting sorted out after the goal from Cavallari is 4th. It's a 6-0 lead for Middle Country early in quarter number 2. 8:04 remaining here from Newfield High School. Brady Campbell with you, Rowan Loddick on the board, Rin Shimano on the camera. As the ensuing face-off controlled by Walt Whitman. And their face-off man, Mike McGinnis. Dylan Nagar. Moves around one. Nagar steps through a couple more. Nagar just fired it wide, pulled it a bit. The long stick midi, nearly a highlight reel goal to get his team on the board. Possession will stay with Flores behind the net. Goes up top with it, McGinnis. Tana, low pass, handled by McGinnis. McGinnis using the pick. McGinnis goes down low, quick shot off the post and then banks in. And the Wildcats are on the board. Tyler Goldfarb gets that shot away quickly with the left hand and just pinballing around. Almost looked like it never went in. Off the post, off the goaltender. That is Declan Cleary. Off the crossbar, off the bar on the ground inside the goal. hit Cleary again before it actually caught any piece of the netting. But Goldfarb finds a way, and Whitman now on the board here with 7:11 left in the quarter. Face off, pinballing around, scooped up by Nagar. Nagar finds a way through, going to the net. Nagar denied. Rebound loose in the crease, picked up. We get a flag, shot back towards the net. And we'll get the call here. Chaos in front. Not sure if the ball ever went in, but the ref did emphatically signal no goal. And we get the penalty calls here. Against Whitman, it appears, so possession will stay. Or excuse me, against Middle Country, possession will stay with Whitman. And here's Hill to start. Goes for Perillo. Kaiser puts it behind the net. Tana for Keith Hill again, returns it. Great passing here by Whitman. They never have a player standing still offensively, trying to work it towards the front. A quick shot. Right off the ground, ball was stopped by Cleary. Still bouncing around, picked up now by the Mad Dogs. A check, though, forces the ball back on the ground. Right near that end line. Does go out of bounds and will stay with the Wildcats. They'll maintain possession here. A much better start to this quarter as we hit the halfway point of the second quarter. Only one goal up on the board. But they've tilted this field quite a bit. Turnover, however, and it's picked right back up by the Mad Dogs. Looking for a way out, they'll go back to Cleary. Has some green grass in front of him. Goes as far as he can. Draws the defender and throws it down the field for Cavallari. Boxes his man out and picks it up. Cavallari, as the defense hung up at X, puts it in his left, trying for the jump shot. It got blocked down right with Otis, drives towards the net and scores. Hat trick for Dom Otis. Shot block goes right on his stick from goal line extended. Was able to keep himself out of the crease there until after he scored, and a huge goal and response for the Mad Dogs. They restore their 6-goal lead. It's been the Cavallari and Otis show thus far. Face off here with McGinnis and Preciado. Preciado wins it forward, couldn't get to it though. Nagar, first one on it. However, we have a holding call against McGinnis. And possession back to Middle Country. We'll start with Goldhammer. Slows things down. Playing catch with Stebbins. 5 minutes to go, first half. A 7-1 lead for the Mad Dogs here at home. Looking to improve to 3-4 on the season. Otis for Stebbins. Stebbins, bounce shot, caught the iron. Comes all the way back to the Mad Dog sideline. The foot race, it will stay. No, it will not. Diving attempt made by Cavallari to maintain possession, but they award it to Whitman. And the hustle of Tana. Swarming defense on the near side by Jake Makochik. Forces it out of bounds. It will stay with the Wildcats. Perillo moves it to the near side. Now skipped across to the far. Here's Hill for McGinnis. Takes it behind the cage. McGinnis slides it back down. 30 on the shot clock. Centering feed in front. Pinballing through the crease. Scooped up and finished, but no goal here in the crease against Whitman. So a crease violation. There's been a few close calls around the crease in the second quarter. And the goal defended by Declan Cleary. That time it does get called, and here's Otis. Goes for Goldhammer, now up top for Stebbins. Off the bench, Kaiser. Here's Stebbins, screen from Baldante. Stebbins draws a double, takes it behind the goal. Skip pass, gets through everybody to the midline. Bounce back for Baldante. 15 on the shot clock. Behind the goal, Stebbins. Now Cavallari cuts back. Cavallari in front, had a man open. Unable to catch it cleanly and pull the trigger was Gessinger, and now it's picked back up by Whitman. Close to an offside there. And we do get the flag. So a delayed penalty upcoming against Middle Country as we get the turnover here. Play on for a moment there. Now we get the call. It is offside. Get another flag, I believe, on the far side. Trying to see what the signal was there from the official. A little bit of a delay. I believe it might also be against Whitman. Or against Middle Country. It will stay with Whitman here. Kaiser will start with it on the near side at about the 40-yard line. Back in play here, so a man up for Walt Whitman. Trying to climb a little closer in this one. Hill drops it off. More of the cycling passing here from Whitman. Just a tight little circle on the wing. Players rotating through, a feed in front, doesn't go. Saved by Cleary. Clears it away. Triple team here, though, from the Wildcats. Wins back possession. And now perhaps with some numbers back in. Stuff attempt doesn't go. Cleary all over it again. Just fires it down the field. Gessinger Skip pass across. Feed down low. Numbers. Backhand try. Doesn't go. Missing wide. Middle Country trying to break out the bag of tricks. On that attempt down low, that was the defender, A.J. Sullivan, all the way down there. Final minute here of the first half, 50 and counting. Next goal, a very much a crucial one, especially for the Wildcats in maroon. A shot from the outside, stick save. Flip down the field towards the midline, bounces all the way into the Wildcat bench. And looks like it'll go back to Middle Country with half a minute left in the quarter. Cavallari. Swim move. In no particular hurry here, does drop it off. A shot from way downtown misses and goes out of bounds. Otis on the backup. Middle Country holding for the final shot now. Otis driving, drops it off. Up top. Feed across, one last try, score with 4.3 left. And it's an 8-1 lead. What a shot that was from the outside. Nicholas Grippy, sticking his left hand, had to pick it up on the other side of his body. Still able to wire that one into the back of the net here, and looks like that will likely be it for this first half. Just 4 seconds left. Do it one more time here at midfield. Good box out and face-off win. A heave from midfield. Doesn't make it through to the goal from McManus, or excuse me, from McGinnis. McManus in goal for the Wildcats. His team falling behind 8-1. What a first half it was for Middle Country. Exactly the half they were hoping for. Dominant performance. Cavallari and Otis pick up 4 and 3 respectively in that opening half, with of course that last one being tacked on by Grippy. And an 8-1 lead for the Mad Dogs. We'll take a quick break for halftime and be back for the second half from Newfield High School with the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. And welcome back to the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week here on LILJ and LI Sports Network. 12 minutes on the clock, third quarter set to go. The first half, all Middle Country, the Mad Dogs an 8-1 lead over the Walt Whitman Wildcats to start quarter number 3. And they control the opening faceoff as well. Get it in the stick of number 10, Jack Cavallari, 4 goals in that opening half. Tom Otis had 3 of his own. The other goal from Middle Country, with just 4 seconds left in the half, came from Nicholas Grippy. And they look for more to start. And a shot and a goal. What a shot that was. Brian Goldhammer goes top cheddar as he puts that one high over McManus. And a great start here to the third quarter, picking up right where the Mad Dogs left off. A 9-1 lead now. Preciado and McGinnis back at the faceoff X. They tie up. McGinnis comes away with it. Swim move around 1. Gets through a couple more. And the back check got him. Ball loose on the turf. McGinnis just fights it forward to an open spot on the field. Only Mad Dogs there, though. And the goalie, Declan Cleary, wasn't too busy early on in this game. Much busier in the second quarter, made a couple big saves to keep his team in front by a couple, and the Mad Dogs pulled away late in that second quarter. Look to stay in firm control of this game here. Here's Kirshner. Drops it off. And now Cavallari. Throw it back once more. In no particular hurry here with this big lead are the Mad Dogs. They do have 30 to shoot. Pass knocked down. Great defensive play on the outside by Derek Davis. 13 to shoot now. Pass goes behind. Knocked down. Otis hits the deck. 5 left to shoot. He comes back up with it. And possession now going to Whitman. Here's Nagar. Nagar. Forced back here. Otis all over him, drops it to McManus, goes right back to Nagar. Slips on the turf, lost the handle. Ball bouncing around, scoop back up here by the Mad Dogs. A shot, stick save from McManus. He denied Ferrugia. Back the other way, Whitman. Running low on time here, trailing by a lot, trying to climb back into it. They'll settle things down. And Ryan Kaiser looking for options here, dumps it off. Starting back with it, Perillo. Perillo curls back. Turnover. Jake Mikochik gets to it, goes all the way across for his fellow defenseman. Unable to catch that one cleanly, however, and start back the other way with it. So it's a turnover, and Whitman will come right back in. Here's Kaiser. Kaiser takes it to the front. It doesn't go. Cleary standing tall again between the pipes. Now back the other way comes Middle Country. A flag upcoming here. And the penalty. Taking a stick up high was Goldfarb. Heading off to serve it will be Kaiser. So to the man up goes Middle Country here already with a 9-1 lead early in quarter number 3. 7.5 remaining. Cavallari for Otis. Across, Otis back on it, skip past Cavallari, steps in, this time denied. Up top, good save by McManus. This pass though a bit out of the reach of Nagar, and he gets forced out of bounds as the ball popped out of his stick. So Baldante will take back possession here. They feed it to him, goal line extended, goes back up. Otis across, return feed to him. Cavallari steps in, shot. Just missed wide. Electing for the bounce shot that time. Backed up by Goldhammer. Pass towards the front. Pinballs around where it's scooped up in the crease by McManus. Airs it out down the field. A good penalty kill there on the man down for Whitman. Now they look for offense. A quick cut down low. Forced to the outside, however, that time is McGinnis. McGinnis to Tana. A Whitman team that has struggled to find the back of the net all day. The opening quarter didn't have much offense to begin with. Controlled portions of that second quarter, but only once able to beat Declan Cleary. Clear here for Middle Country. And they come back the other way, getting his stick tied up Makochik. And back ahead comes the Wildcats. Ball on the turf, however. They're looking for a timeout call. Ball appeared to be loose. Do they get it? It doesn't appear so. Possession back to the Mad Dogs. A little over halfway through this third quarter. Goldhammer. That'll settle things. Now Stebbins. Hill guarding him. Stebbins. Hill forces him to the outside. The pass off the stick of Cavallari. Just able to keep it in play. Cavallari curls back. Skip pass towards the front. A shot. Great save, McManus. Despite the score, he's come up with a couple great saves here down the stretch. Might have to come up with another one. The turnover. Cavallari back the other way. Cuts to the middle. Shoots. Missed wide. Gets the backup from Goldhammer. Kessinger goes across with it, now up top. Baldante. And it looks like we have a crease violation there against Middle Country. On seemingly a nothing play, Baldante just cruising with it on the outside. Instead, possession back to Whitman here. Now Hill. Hill trying to work his way towards the front. Got a shot away. Pulled it a bit wide. Looks like we might have a Wildcat down on the far side. Couldn't tell if the shot hit him or not. That is Jaden Flores behind the net. Trainers come out to check on him. He was driving towards the goal on the shot from Hill. Flores back to his feet here. Trying to shake it off as he'll walk off the field. Good sign there for number 22 in red. .407 left here in the third quarter. A good look on that play for Hill. Couldn't get it to go. With that missed shot, the backup possession will go to the Dogs. Leary from behind his own goal will jog ahead with it. Waits for someone to play him, or perhaps not. Finds Baldante down the field. And Baldante flying in, tries to get a shot away. The save made. Both goalies have played great here in this third quarter. Near turnover, though. McManus able to redeem himself, helping win possession back. Ball free in front of the Wildcat sideline, taken back, and here's Nagar. But possession now forced back here to Middle Country. Here's Stebbins. Takes it behind the goal. Both teams making some substitutions at the box. Curling back, Otis shoots, another save, rebound, backhand try, didn't go. And in the crease, a crease violation here against Middle Country. What a sequence. That was Gessinger who's in the crease. Back the other way comes Whitman. And a chance, and they score. Ryan Perillo with the response moments after one of the saves of the season on the other side from McManus. Had some help as well, not quite sure what it hit. Still a big lead for Middle Country. Well, the two-goal swing in some ways there for Whitman as they were able to keep one out of their goal by just a couple feet and come back and get one. And they win the ensuing face-off here. Just 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Another look towards the goal, misses wide. That shot came from Nagar. Here's Tana behind the goal. Goes up to McGinnis. McGinnis working on the short stick, turns and missed well wide there. Back up by the goaltender Cleary as well. Wins possession back for the Dogs. Cleary on it now here. Just a few possessions remaining in this third quarter. Whitman has had some chances as of late. Just the 2 goals here. Just the one in this third quarter moments ago from Perillo. Middle Country doing a great job keeping them at bay here. As this quarter has been relatively quiet on the score sheet. Trying to change that, and nearly doing so was Grippy, looking for his second of the game. 103 seconds left on the clock here in quarter number 3. Cavallari up top, shot, that one stays out. My vantage point, I thought McManus saved it, but it sounded like I heard post either way. Whitman catches a break here. It stays with Cavallari, though. Gets called, however, for a ward. 90 seconds left. And Whitman with possession here. Trying to make things a little interesting for the fourth quarter. But the Mad Dogs forcing them well to the outside here. Pressure from Vital up top. Pass down low, gets through everybody and out of bounds. Possession will initially, it's like the referee closer to the goal ruled it would stay with Whitman there, but the back ref adjusts the call. A near turnover, meanwhile, as it goes towards the end line, and it will stay with Whitman. Aggressive play from Tana as the pass went behind the goal. And the big save, however, from Cleary. Cleary was the one that didn't see Tana coming on that last sequence. Comes up with a big save. Errant pass kicked around the box and now up towards midfield. Scooped up by Cavallari. Goes down low with it. A save from McManus. And possession will stay with the Mad Dogs. 18.6 left in the quarter. Otis takes it to X. 10 left. Otis from a sharp angle buries it. Fourth of the day for Dom Otis with just 5.5 seconds left in the quarter. Goal line extended. It almost looks like he was behind that. Somehow able to sneak it past McManus. And the Mad Dogs reach double digits with a 10-2 lead. One last face-off here in quarter number 3. McGinnis picks it up, 2 seconds and 1. He'll run out of time. Might have had a good look towards the net. Had a bit more seconds left on the clock, but that'll do it for quarter number 3. In the end, it's an 8-goal lead for the Mad Dogs, 12 minutes away from picking up win number 3 on the season. We will be back for the fourth quarter on the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. And welcome back to the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week here with LILJ and LI Sports Network. A 10-2 lead with the final 12 minutes remaining here at Newfield High School for the Mad Dogs of Middle Country. Trying to change things a bit here with a shot going wide. Was Nagar. His stick was checked as he let it go. And the backup by the goalkeeper, Declan Cleary, who has been outstanding thus far. Just the 2 goals behind him. Turnover here, though, right in front of his crease, and he alertly comes out to take it and just heaves it down the field, looking for a teammate. Bounces around, though, still loose, and then hitting the deck there. Behind the play was Chase Gottsman as he got drilled from behind by Jack Cavallari. Cavallari, 4 goals in this game. Same could be set for Dom Otis. Here's Ryan Perillo. Perillo with a goal in this one for the Wildcats. We're in danger to drop into 2-5 on the season. Both these teams 2-4 coming in. And what a performance it has been from Middle Country here from pretty much start to finish, or at least up until this point. 10.5 left in the 4th quarter. A shot just missed. Shot coming from McGinnis. Face-off specialist for this Walt Whitman team. Perillo. Goes across to Bradley. Puts it down low for Goldfarb. Defense collapses on him, and it's taken back by the Mad Dogs and A.J. Sullivan. Here's Cleary. Finds a seam to get it through. Makochik feeds it down into the box, but it was taken away, knocked down. Ground ball battle. Looks like Whitman came away with it and got the timeout call. Finn Bradley coming up with the ground ball there. Will keep possession with his team. 9:50 to go in the 4th quarter on the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week. A 10-2 lead for Middle Country. Brady Campbell with you here at Newfield High School in Selden, New York, with Rowan Loddick on the board. Rin Shimano on the camera. A game between 2-4 teams, but the team in white came to play in the 1st quarter. Took until about midway through the 2nd for the Wildcats to get on the board. And it wasn't long before Middle Country expanded their lead a bit more after that. Goaltending in this game overall has been outstanding as well. Patrick McManus, 10 behind him, but has made a ton of stops as well. Some very good ones. And of course, on the other side, number 8, Declan Cleary, keeping the Wildcats at bay throughout this game, not allowing them to really get all that comfortable, really let them get into it once his team had a big enough lead. And so a clearing attempt taken away, and right back in come the Mad Dogs. Sullivan takes a shot, save. McManus just golfed away from the front of the net all the way out to midfield. Held in for a moment back the other way, however. Comes Nagar, drops it off. Spin move towards the front, bounced wide. Good effort there by Goldfarb. Couldn't quite get his hands free, and he tried to let that shot go. Hill goes up top with it. Perillo drops it off for Kaiser. Kaiser nearly lost his footing. Nice move, though, to shake away from the defense. Slings a pass to X. Couldn't be handled cleanly. A takeaway, however. Hill trying to find a passing lane. Ball loose on the ground. When the Cats goes down, we play on. They come away with it. A chance and another save. Hill looking to the skies. He was denied in tight by Cleary. Back the other way, meanwhile. Come the Dogs. A shot just missed high. Coming off the stick of Sullivan. Sullivan very active here offensively over the last few minutes. Here's Otis. Ball on the turf. Stays with the Mad Dogs. Gessinger all the way around the net. Being watched the whole way. Had the ball checked right out of his stick. Went out of bounds. It will stay with Gessinger. Will Bozick disagrees. Here's Otis. Goes back down. Gessinger draws the double. Bozick stays on him. Gessinger drives towards the front. Tried to stuff it. Couldn't get it through McManus. Otis on it. Gessinger a little shaken up here as he hit the deck hard. Gets back to his feet. We do get the whistle, though. And wanted to stay in the game, but the referee forces him off the field. To be looked at. Appears to be okay. Will be replaced by Max Kirshner. I'll stay with Otis at X. 7.5 left in the final quarter. Feed down low, bouncing through off the outside of the goal where McManus will play it. Skies a clearing attempt once again, taken this time, however, by Perillo. Perillo right down Broadway, a bounce shot save once again by Cleary. His clearing attempt, however, taken away. Right back in, a chance. Feed across, what a defensive effort. Diving across to knock it away was Sullivan. And what appeared to almost be a 2-on-0 there for a moment. Goldfarb tried to feed the pass across. Sullivan got a stick on it, knocked it out of bounds. It will stay with Whitman. Pass goes up top. Perillo skips it across. Kaiser bounce shot, another save. Cleary out of his crease. Fires it down the field. Bounces past Cavallari. Possession, however, maintained here by Middle Country. Here's Otis. Turning, drops it off. Comfortable lead here for Middle Country halfway through the fourth quarter. 10-2 lead. On their way to a 3-4 record, getting right back towards 500. Looking for another and a save from McManus. He's only gotten better as this game has worn on. Back the other way, Perillo. Trying to put another on the board here. Pass down low. Spin move towards the front, doesn't go. Shot clock reset as it's picked back up by Middle Country. Their next game coming up on the 22nd, 4 p.m. against North Babylon, where they will look to get back to 4-4 on the season, assuming the final 5 minutes go swimmingly for them. Bench aggressively yelling for a timeout there, and they're able to get one. So Whitman will use another timeout with 4:57 left, still down 8. Their next game coming up on the 22nd, 6:15 p.m. face-off against Copiague. This game has been all Mad Dogs throughout. 4, as we mentioned, from Cavallari. He's committed to Stony Brook. Otis has 4 as well. Couple more mixed throughout. Grippy has 1. And on the other side, plenty of saves to be had for Declan Cleary. Stay tuned. It looks like we know who's likely the front runners here to get the game shirts and hats after the game on both the offensive and defensive side for the Mad Dogs. Out of the timeout, possession here for Walt Whitman, down by 8. Trying to at least take a couple more goals with them here into their next matchup against Copiague. Kaiser will start with it. Be watched by Preciado to start. Takes it down the open space here on the near side sideline and goes to X. Goes behind with it. Tough angle try, score! Similar spot we saw at the end of the third quarter from Middle Country and Otis. This time it's McGinnis stuffing it. Goal line extended there. Of course, Cleary being the lefty, and a stick on the opposite side, and McGinnis able to sneak it through. So that'll make it a 10-3 game here. With 4.5 left. Preciado will come to the near side. It will be Shane Velarde this time, taking the face-off, knocked it forward, and had some help to win possession. Here for the Mad Dogs, in tight, Otis scores. 5th of the game for Dom Otis. Right off the face-off, Velarde able to move it forward. Getting to the ground ball with Sullivan. Down low to Otis, and just like that, the response from Middle Country to get that last goal back. And they restore an 8-goal lead. Ball up in the air this time. Sullivan knocks it down. Good stick work, able to come away with it. Couldn't knife his way through the checkers. Still able to find it. Can scoop it up a second time. Loose right at the 50-yard line, and we eventually get a whistle here. And possession will go to Walt Whitman. As perhaps an offside, the player leaving the box too early, you name it there. Looked like practically every player out on the field was at midfield. Here's Goldfarb, takes it down low, tries to feed it in front and nearly angled on goal. Loose stick there at the side of the crease, belongs to 14 in maroon. Possession taken back, however, by Middle Country. Ball on the turf, no one can find it. Chance here, Goldfarb feeds it across, and a save. Declan Cleary, how about one more? He denies Flores, good to see him back in the game. Trying to go backhand there, lefty couldn't get it to go. 3:23 and counting here in the fourth quarter. A save from McManus on the outside shot. Errant pass goes all the way to the Wildcats sideline. Here's Cavallari. Finds a lane through midfield. 3 minutes, all that's separating the Mad Dogs from a victory here today. As they try to make it 2 of their last 3. In no particular hurry with 40 on the shot clock. Pass down low, knocked down, comes right back to the Mad Dogs, but a takeaway. Great read on the pass from Kenneth Bridgeford Jr. Back the other way comes Walt Whitman, but a takeaway right back. Another turnover. Ball still loose now. 2-on-2 battle for that ground ball. A few more players chip in. Middle Country comes away with it. Another loose stick on the ground. That belonged to Ferrugia. Eventually Cavallari comes away with it. Under 2 minutes left. And he'll settle things down. Preciado off the bench. Waits for an opportunity, now attacks on the right, cuts back to the left. Forced back to the right again. Great defense by Jumilo, but a chance down low and a save from McManus. How about one more as we approach a minute on the clock? Here's Nagar over midfield, trying to pot one more here for the Wildcats. Shot doesn't make it through. Possession here to Middle Country. Under a minute left, 54 seconds on the clock. Cleary will throw it ahead. And Middle Country, half a minute away from a strong victory here today. 11-3 the score. Currently over Walt Whitman. Wildcats will drop to 2-5 on the season. Sail the pass across, out of bounds. Wildcats will take back possession here one more time, just 11.2 on the clock. Still 52 seconds left on the shot clock. So they could have perhaps ran a bit more time off the clock, even tried to get it to the horn, but and in fact, it does look like it will actually stay here with Middle Country. Yeah, referee ruling the pass deflected, so the final 10 seconds will come off the clock. And 2 seconds and 1, a dominant victory here today for the Middle Country Mad Dogs. 11-3, the final over Walt Whitman. What an offensive performance. Dom Otis, 5 goals. Jack Cavallari had 4 himself. Down the other end, Declan Cleary. Outstanding throughout. And the Dogs come away with an 11-3 victory for Tom Michael and company, improving to 3-4 on the season before their next bout coming up next week against North Babylon. So a one-sided performance for the most part here at Newfield High School. And a dominant win for Middle Country. Thank you so much for tuning in on behalf of everyone here at both LI Sports Network and LILJ. Rin Shimano on the camera, Rowan Loddick operating the board. I'm Brady Campbell signing off. The final score, the Middle Country Mad Dogs 11 and the Walt Whitman Wildcats 3. You've been tuned in to the LILJ Buoy Game of the Week.